Hey.
Hello, hello.
Hello, you guys.
Hello, everybody. Heather, you were the first to comment. I'm not sure if you're still there. Hi, Kathy. Sally.
Hey. Hi, guys. Hi, Sally. So slightly different setup here, guys. Today, I'm in the hot seat, but I am not. Don't leave yet. I'm not gonna decorate cookies, but I will do something really fun. So let me just jump right into it. We will be making American flag cookies. These are the cookies that I will show you how to make. I already prepared the dough, and you can find a full recipe if you wanna try this at home, maybe for 4th of July, on my blog, hanielas.com. And it looks complicated, but it really is not. So I will just show you how to do that now, and we can get started.
They look great, Han. Very, the lines are very perfect.
Very perfect.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I've got my dough here. You can learn all about how to divide the dough on the blog. I did that already, not to waste the time. And I also colored one portion with red. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna set this one aside for a little while, and I'm gonna start by rolling these two pieces to an 8 by 8 inch rectangle square.
So can we just look at them 1 second again? I just want to look at them. So the white areas, like the American flag, everybody knows it. So you didn't color that. That's just the dough.
Yes, that's the dough. That's the dough as it is. I didn't color that. It's yeah, you don't. I mean, if you're really, really, if you want to make it,
Well, I think it's nice like that. I'm just asking for.
Use the white food coloring, but it's really not necessary. I don't think
Yes.
it's necessary because this dough is pretty pale,
Yes.
so you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Right? And if you wanted to have the dough that is a little whiter, you could maybe avoid vanilla extract will also
Oh, yes.
dough. So if you're using vanilla that is like deep brown, it will tint your dough. So maybe option for a different extract. Hi Kim, how are you? How are you doing?
Hello.
And how was everybody's Memorial Day? I mean, was it last? No, Memorial Day. Oh no, because we didn't have last Tuesday, so we couldn't we didn't ask you how was it Memorial Day. So anyway, so this is my 8 by 8 square. So you could just use it as a reference. I'm just gonna put it underneath my. I'm using silicone mat. Although it's barely visible there. If you're using parchment, it's easier. So I guess I'll just take it out. And then my rolling guides are 1/4 inch thick. These rolling guides, they come from
Dough Easy.
Easy Man. I'm not using that today because my table it's not too big, so I didn't want to. It's a larger mat. All right, so
You weren't on last Tuesday?
No, we were not. You were not. You were very sick. Remember?
Oh yes, I was
I'm
sick.
so glad that you don't know that you were sick. So
Yes, I was.
That you recovered. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to roll it out, and then we'll cut the bits to fit to make that square. So I need to, so I can trim this.
So Kim says she's doing well. She's doing good. Seems to be tolerating the AC well so far. Not sure what AC stands for. I'm guessing that's the terminology for the treatment.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's good to know that you're doing well.
Thank you, Sally.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
So using the mats helps, I guess, because you don't have to put flour and then you can use your scraps.
Yes, exactly. So I don't have to.
If you add too much flour while you're rolling, your scraps become not as
it becomes
dry out, you'd say, right?
Yeah, it also kind of dries out, exactly, but it becomes kind of tough. The cookie dough becomes a bit tough.
So I don't know if you guys noticed there, Han grabbed her knife, but she used it from the backside to not cut her mat there.
Do not cut the mat and my table.
And your table, yes.
So, and this is basically the way you would make also checker box cookies.
Mm-hmm.
A tutorial coming up for those chocolate vanilla. So this looks pretty good. There's a little bit of left.
Sorry, Kim. Kim was looking for us last Tuesday.
Yes, I did put up a Instagram slide. Unfortunately, we don't do that on Facebook. So if you can find us, or if you don't see us in our regular time, maybe look on Instagram in one of our stories. There's an announcement there.
Yeah, I had a terrible cough, which is not ideal when you're trying to speak during a live stream.
But you sound much better.
Thank you. I feel a little bit better. So Kim is explaining that AC is basically the strongest form of chemotherapy.
Oh, is it? See what happened here, guys? I put my my rolling guides on the side of the mat instead of the mat, and that's why I have so much dough left. You know what I mean? It's thinner than a quarter inch, so I don't know. Hopefully,
you weren't on the mat; you were off of the mat.
I'm just going to add it here because I don't want to waste.
Your stripes won't be the same thickness.
I don't want to waste it, so we'll just do it this way. Yeah.
Heather uses powdered sugar instead of flour when she rolls.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I did. That works also. I have never really used powdered sugar for my for the rolling board.
Hello, Marlene. Hello.
All right. So this looks good enough. So I'm going to quickly stick it into the freezer, and I'm going to take this and peel this off.
I think the freezer is an important part of the process, to get everything nice and firm.
It just helps. It doesn't have to be like rock hard. It just helps when it's a bit chilled. I also have these. These are from IKEA. They are kind of like a sturdy.
Oh, it's like, here, let me put you on the big screen. Here, show it again. It's a placemat. That's
yes. No, this is a cutting board. Like those flexible.
Oh, I thought it was a placemat.
So it does work really well. You could place it underneath, and it doesn't take up as much space in your freezer. So let me just for the time I'm gonna be rolling the white one. Freezer, okay. You can entertain while I'm doing that.
Hi, Mary Jean.
All right, so I'm back, and I didn't realize I need to wipe this off.
So, I mean, Han's showing how to make the American flag, but you can obviously tweak the concept to work with your own flag if you wanted to.
Well, the flag, I mean, it's unless the flag is same as American.
No, but there's similarities sometimes, like you can tweak the concept and create a different version.
Yes, I agree. So now we're going to roll out the white one. Ideally, you want to do the white one first and then do the red one. You don't have to worry about cleaning the tools from the red dough. And to color, one thing
says, for me to give them a dance, I don't know, this is not...
Give us a dance, okay. I'm more of I'm more inclined to do that. I dance every day. I mean, not that anyone wants to see that. We were just, I mean, it's not like, what was her name from Seinfeld? What did you say?
Oh, Elaine, yes.
Not like her. It's not like her, but I don't need anyone to see my dancing for sure. But I do that every day. It's such a great stress reliever. Have you done?
Sally's had the checkerboard cookies on her to-do list for a while.
Oh yeah, you really should. It's really fun and it's such a rewarding project, and it's not that difficult. I mean, I really want to do that with more colors. Checkerboard.
Well, I think if you have certain elements on the flag that you can't necessarily do with the colored dough, you could do like small little stenciled with royal icing, like just a very thin stenciling for, let's say, sometimes stars, or in my case, the Canadian flag, you could do the maple leaf in the middle.
Oh yeah.
With
Do you remember the heart, the ice block cookies with rainbow heart
Yes.
inside? Eugene Kitchen, I think it was. This was maybe almost 10 years
A while
ago.
ago, yes.
She started doing all these ice block cookies with different.
But the maple leaf is so particular. I don't know if it would work, with the points and everything.
I don't know. Like you have to freeze it. You have to.
Yeah.
It has to be rock hard, and then you have to literally push the dough.
Yeah.
To the sections. Maybe if you have a cutter that is not so. I think I'm gonna have to push it again because I can't roll it out.
Something that's not so detailed. Are you going to have enough dough there, or are you going to roll it thinner? Because you're off the mat again with your.
I'm gonna roll it too, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. I don't know. Maybe it's my table. Who knows? There's always something that goes wrong, no?
Because you had your guides off the mat again.
Yes, I know. I will do the same thing, just so I have enough dough, and then I'll do the same thing.
Okay.
I think maybe it's the rolling. Yeah, I don't know if it's even or not. Sometimes I find that the rolling pin can do.
Hi, Julie.
Right.
Olga's remembering Elaine's dance as well.
Yes, we watched the video yesterday, didn't we?
So Sally's asking, so are you aiming to have exactly the same dimensions of the two of these two squares here that you're making?
Yes, because we are going to stack them together, and then we'll cut strips, and then we will stack the strips.
Perfect. Hello, Tara.
Okay, let's see.
The thickness is 1/4 inch, right, Han? Those rolling guides?
Yes. So this is our. I'm turning here. I'll put it here. You can push that in.
So is this your usual sugar cookie recipe?
Well, it's on the blog. Yes, it is.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm just asking them which one for them to look for.
Yes, it is. It is, but I do have it listed as a separate, like it's in a recipe box in this blog post because it doesn't include baking powder.
Oh,
You want this to spread at
yes,
all.
you want everything to stay perfectly in place, right?
Yes. So I did create a separate blog post for that, and
Sometimes I'll look at recipes and I'm shocked in the cookie recipes, like 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Like it's like you want the cookies to stay, and then you see them in the photo. It seems wrong, right? Like the amount sometimes of baking powder that they have listed.
yeah, and oftentimes. I mean, my recipe for, as you know, for the soft cookies, but it's 5 cups of flour, so it has baking powder and baking soda.
But that's a completely different. They're like kind of like whoopie pies if I had to compare them to something. Those cookies.
Okay, so this I'm going to also stick into the freezer.
Are you finding parchment paper in Spain?
Yes,
It's
I do.
what?
like it's they have different types of parchment paper. Different sometimes this one has texture for whatever reason. I guess maybe it's for the greasy food or something.
Uh-huh.
But the German stores they have nice brown parchment paper, which I really like.
Oh yeah, it's wax paper you're not finding.
Wax paper? No, I can't find wax paper here. So I'm gonna put this in the freezer for a couple minutes while I'll work on the glue dough. Okay.
Can you hear me, Han?
Yes.
Heather's asking if you prefer those the guides like the sticks on the table or the ones that go on the end of the rolling pin.
Oh, I much prefer them. I mean, it depends on the project, I suppose, but I think I much prefer the ones that the sticks. You
The
know?
sticks.
Yeah, because I normally use a larger rolling pin. I use the silicone one, and it just doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have the guides, or maybe it came with the guides, but I don't really use those. I
Mm-hmm.
prefer using a stick. So for the blue part, we are going to use blue food coloring. I didn't color this piece. This is a quarter of the dough. And for the coloring, I would suggest that you always use gloves. And one thing it's really important when you're coloring the cookie dough is to color it right after it's made. Don't chill it and color because it doesn't take the color as well. So this I made maybe 40 minutes ago, so hopefully it's still good.
And also, if the dough is hard, well, you're working much harder than if the room temperature dough, right? Like if it's chilled, you're killing yourself trying to knead it in there.
I lost my other glove. It's on the floor. I didn't want to pick it up.
Obviously. So you're working on your saran wrap so that you
Yeah.
don't stain your work surface.
Well, you could put it on something. Once it's
So
kind
like
of
those cutting boards probably be a safe option to work on.
yes, or my silicone mat. So I can use one of these. And I got some questions when I posted the recipe. People were asking, what did I use for the white and the blue? So we can actually do it at this point. So I got here nonpareils,
Mm-hmm.
and this is totally optional. You know, you don't have to use nonpareils, but I thought like they look really nice.
So this is to replicate the stars in the
Yes, you
flag.
don't want to add like half cup. You want to maybe 1 tablespoon is enough.
So Denise is asking if you use the mats that you're working on there to also bake on.
These not really, no. Unless I'm making not cut out cookies, I use these to bake like what are they called? Hen pies or things that release juice
Oh, okay.
or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not or anything but the cutout cookies, because I don't find that they work. Cookies really don't hold its shape
Mm-hmm.
on these. I don't
You
know if
use the perforated mats for your.
but even before and I think somebody had a while ago, many years ago, had emailed me. She was trying to figure out why her cookies are spreading. She was using silicone mats, and this was before I started using perforated mats. And I told her to try parchment, and it worked because I don't know. I think maybe depending on the oven, um, the heat is getting to the cookie maybe a little delayed, like the silicone mat is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The perforated mat has holes in it, so the heat is there right away, right? So the edges of their cookies are super sharp. All right, so this we have to do 1 by 1 inch log that is 8 inches long. So I'm using 2 of these, which will give me 1/2 inch on each side. And then I'm gonna stack them. Make
So
sense?
the Dough Easy mat is listed in your Amazon store, right, Han?
Yes, that is listed in my Amazon store if you want to try it. I
So
love
just
that.
to tell you guys, with the rolling mat, you get like 6 of those guides, eh, with the mat? Yeah.
Yes, there are these. That's 4, and then you get really thin ones. I also have those, and those are really great for other things. So now I'm going to. This is actually useful too because this guide it's 1 inch thick. If I'm not mistaken, yes, it's 1 inch. So you could use it for the. I need 1 inch strip. So I'm going to. Is this 8 inches? Yes, it is. I'm just going to cut this in half. Again, I'm using the dull end of my knife.
Mm-hmm.
Cut through the.
Julie, I couldn't tell you the differences between the perforated mats. I bought the ones I bought and they worked well. I haven't tested like several different versions. I couldn't tell you. They seem quite similar from the photos I've seen, but
So now I'm using.
maybe there's a difference. There's some that are pink, some are black. I would imagine the black ones tend to brown your cookies more than the pink ones, if I had to guess. Sorry, Han.
Oh no, I just I cut it in half and then.
You're making like a big square.
It's a log 1 inch by 1 inch and 8 inches long
Yeah, you're making like a perfect square to.
fit into the cavity that we'll make in a second from the red and white dough. Okay, so we do have some leftover glue, so we can use it to make extra cookie or so. Maybe make a little star. Now, instead of using your hands to kind of even out the edges, if you have to, use these.
Mm.
Or you can use a ruler instead if you have a ruler. Okay, and I'm going to, this is too long, obviously, it's more than 8 inches, so we can trim that also.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going
Hannah, have you had any issues with regards to your perforated mats getting stains from the butter?
stains, you mean like it,
Well, Cynthia's saying she has the black baking mats and they.
leave the butter imprints on the cookies after baking. Butter imprint. What's a butter imprint?
Like, I guess like the shape of the cookie.
Yes, I think that does maybe happen, but it usually comes off. I soak it. I put it in a baking tray,
The baking tray.
baking sheet, and I soak it in hot water with a little bit of dishwashing liquid, and then I don't really have problems. So this, I'm going to stick this also into it can go into the fridge or freezer. Okay, so this is a little log
Mm-hmm.
to use to assemble American flag icebox cookies.
I guess they all have like a slight variation in their manufacturing. Mine don't get stains at all. Hi, me too.
All right, so here are the sheets we made earlier, that I made earlier. You're just watching. Have you made icebox cookies before?
I didn't really do like a project like this. I make like the those logs that you just slice there. Slice
No,
and bake.
Slice cookies. Slice cookies, I think they're also
But not really something like this with the very kind of I want to say mathematical, like like you're having to be
if you
very.
watch any of the Eugenie's videos,
Yes.
it's it's like
Yes.
every millimeter counts. I mean,
Yes.
if you remember Instagram logo a while back, it wasn't what it is now, right? They changed it. So she did Instagram logo, and that was a very complicated logo.
It was a complicated
It's
one.
like yeah, it's like a very mathematical, just like you said. Yes.
So Emily's suggesting a paste of baking soda and water to get the grease stains
yeah.
out. I have to tell you though, if every time you're cleaning your perforated mats, you have to do this process,
Yeah, it's a bit.
that's a lot. At the end of the day, it doesn't, after you use them multiple times, the whole thing is stained, and then it won't look stained anymore. Right?
But I think just soaking it in water, as long as it's clean, as long as it's clean and you're not getting like a butter burn in your oven, which can be, smoke.
Sally's saying she has both and she doesn't really see much of a difference other than the pink is cute.
So here I've got my white dough and here's the red dough. I did trim the sides on the red. It's just easier to handle because we have to invert it onto the white. So I'm going to use my pastry brush just very lightly. I'm just using water. I've seen some people use jam to use as an adhesive also.
Kathy, I'm going to do it the next live that I'm on in the hot seat, I think is next Tuesday. So Tuesday.
On Tuesday?
Because I missed the last kind of stencil for the month of May when I was sick.
Oh, I did move it a little too much. Okay, we'll see how that works. A little too much. I'm going to see if my...
See, it's tricky to kind of nudge them because you wet it, right? So they stick together. If there was no adhesive or water, you could slide them, I guess.
Yes, but then...
You don't have your fuse.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to trim it because I need that square.
Uh-huh. So do you think that this would work to make ice cream sandwiches?
Well, what do you mean? I don't understand.
After you've made your cookies, your flags, could you fill them with ice cream?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yes. Yes, why not?
That'd be fun, eh?
That would be very much fun. I might actually do that. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly so we're going to cut these. So let's see. Am I right? Okay. Oh, this one is... So most important is to have 8 inch. If it's longer than 8 inch, it's fine. But on one side, it should be 8 inch. So you can then cut it. If it's longer, it's fine. But it shouldn't be shorter than 8 inch. So if one side is shorter than 8 and the other one is longer, or, what I'm trying to say, use the one that is 8 inch. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to...
I did make those, Sally, but it was kind of a little bit less precision stuff, I found, even though they were kind of intricate. I could kind of get away with things not aligning perfectly, like hands, lines, and stripes.
Oh.
Yes, June made some ice cream sandwiches. I don't know if you saw on her Instagram.
No, I did not. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Maybe I did.
She did it with chocolate chip cookies.
Okay, that's yummy. So now we're going to divide it into 4 strips. So I'm going to do 2 strips that are 2.5. And then 2 that are... Oh my God! I have a spider here.
You have a spider?
I have a spider here. Oh God, these spiders. Okay, he's gone.
He never made it on camera.
I hate spiders. But they say it's bad luck to kill a spider. In Japanese culture, I think they just take them and take them out.
Oh yeah, well, I'm doomed then, because let me tell you, I don't hesitate.
So 2.5, 2.5, and then 1.5, 1.5. Okay. So you want to cut these strips.
Kim also is not a fan of spiders.
Oh, he came in out of nowhere. Because I'm gonna have to spray around the house. And what's great about these, you can make these now and have the log in a freezer and then just bake them right before your 4th of July party.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, you bring these to a party and you'll be the talk of the party.
Everybody, how did you do that?
So again, brushing a little bit of water. I'm going to, can you guys see well? Now, important is to make the pattern, right? So we want the pattern to be red, white, or white, red, okay?
You need to alternate.
Yes.
And the dough being chilled just facilitates handling and alignment and keeping everything precise.
Now we're going to, remember the flag has the blue, somebody help me, okay, let's see. So the flag has the blue square in the left corner, right? So I'm going to, so it's in the left corner, so it needs to be here, right? So I'm going to put my red dough here. Makes sense?
Well,
if you cut it from the other side, it'll be fine. Or you could just turn them, right?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. You just flip the cookie over.
Yes, but I always have to overcomplicate. So again, I'm using the strip that has white on the bottom, so it's continuing with the pattern. Okay. And this little area is the area where we are going to put the blue log, and I'm going to bring that up.
Heather said she was going to make ice cream sandwiches with her last batch of chocolate chip cookies, but the cookies disappeared and she doesn't know what happened. She's putting water, Olga. That's all she's putting is just water. A little water.
Like I said, I've seen people use jam.
But I think the jam would burn potentially.
Yes, it could potentially burn.
And maybe muck up the pristine line you've created.
See, I'm using instead of your fingers, like I said, if you use your fingers, you're gonna make dents and
yeah.
If you use something long and straight, just for a couple seconds, it will kind of stick to each other itself. Now, these are called icebox cookies for a reason, because if you start cutting these, the pressure of the knife will also kind of create a dent in a dough, or it will shape it. Let me just do a quick cut here.
You know what you could almost need, though? I don't think it exists, but you ever see the thing they used to cut bars of soap? Have you ever seen that?
Oh, no.
If people do soap, like craft soap, perfection. And it's like string, of wire. And they it comes down and it does perfect.
Okay, you could use actually a dental floss.
Oh, dental floss.
Use dental floss to cut things like that. I forgot. So now I'm going to wrap it in. This is a food wrap tightly, and I'm going to stick it into the freezer until it's pretty much chilled, or frozen almost. I don't really like to cut it frozen because it really gets hard. So so I would let it once it's frozen, I let it rest at room temperature maybe for 5 minutes, and then I start cutting it.
Angie has a good suggestion: a cheese slicer.
A cheese slicer.
It's like a wire for the the metal one. Oh, my light just flickered.
So now I'm going to place this into the freezer. Now, if you have a lot of things in your freezer, you could maybe make a little
Corner.
holder, which might be a cardstock or even a little cardboard or something of that sort. So you can just have it in there, maybe in the back of your freezer if you're not using it right away. Okay. We don't see a little coffee.
Super nice. So you could actually make those in advance, and I guess pull them out a little bit so that you could cut them when they're rock hard frozen, right?
Yes.
And then slice and bake. How long do they take to bake?
These, just like the regular, I would say 10 to 11 minutes tops. I don't want these to brown too much, okay? So once the dough, the log is chilled, you can take it out of the freezer, remove the food wrap, and then I like to also like look at the edges, and if it needs to be trimmed, you can trim it to have like a really sharp corners there if if you got little misshape. But at this point, it's very, very firm, so you want to make sure that you use a really sharp knife. I'm using Gustav. That's my favorite brand. Very
And
sharp.
you're not cutting on your baking mats now, you're cutting on a
Oh,
cutting
no,
board.
I'm not cutting on the baking mat. And now I'm going to use a ruler, and you can mark a 1/4 inch.
You're using a needle?
So yes, I'm using a toothpick. So
Oh.
so your cookies are 1/4 inch. You can just eyeball it, but I find having a little mark there, it does help to make the cookies more even and just a little nicer. Oh, look how quickly it disappeared. So then you bake these. I actually put them in the oven right away. If you are a little concerned, you can, let them thaw for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then bake them. And that's how you can make these. I actually have these here. I froze some, so I'll show you what they look like. I found that they did bake nicer on a perforated mat than they did on a parchment.
So June is asking about the quantities of the dough and everything. I think you said you have a blog post, right?
It's on the blog. Okay. I'll tell you. So you divide the dough in half. I'm sorry. You divide the dough in quarters. In quarters. You take 1/4. But you see, I have actually some of the blue left. So that's the 1/4 of the blue. You can actually use maybe a little less than a quarter. And then the remaining dough, you put together and you cut it in half. So that's your white and red.
So 3/4 of the dough is divided in half.
Yes, exactly. 3/4 of the dough is divided in half. But everything is on the blog. So let me show you the cookies here that I have and that I baked. Yeah, I have to say I've been eating these, so I had today maybe 3 or 4.
Well, these are great. Often I get asked about having a less sugar on the cookies. So this you're not getting the icing, so it's a little bit less sugar.
And in this recipe, actually, I did use a little bit of sugar, a little less sugar. You could use 3/4 of a cup of granulated or up to a cup, depending on how sweet you like your cookies. I also, in the blog post, give a recommendation. If you prefer tender bite cookie, use powdered sugar, and there is also a link to the recipe that uses powdered sugar.
And you send me all kinds of pictures. Did you make a version where the blue square had sanding sugar?
I don't remember. No, I don't think it was me. I don't think.
No, maybe the photo it looked like it was sanding sugar. I don't.
Like a sanding sugar, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
If you wanted to do a sanding sugar, that would be easy fix because you can just make a stencil.
Yeah.
Simple stencil, place it on unbaked cookie, brush this section with a little bit of water.
You're off they can't see. There you go.
The stencil would be with cardstock, simple stencil.
The thing is sanding sugar is hard to not get it in the areas where you don't want it. So you could end up with like glue.
Right? You would have like, sorry, this is a,
yeah.
So you could do this, and you could maybe, I don't know, like you said, maybe even put nonpareils on it or something of the sort before the cookies are baked, or sending sugar just to give it a little crunch, and it would be slightly raised as well.
So they look great like that. I like them very much. They're beautiful.
So these are the American flag cookies. Again, you can find a recipe on the blog, hanielas.com. Full recipes listed there, also with step-by-step picture instructions. So if you want to have like a slower take, these videos can be pretty fast. And
awesome project.
Chilled. I don't know about you, but I like them chilled.
You like them what?
Chilled.
Chilled?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I like my cookies fresh out of the oven.
Yeah, that's true, but chilled is good. And if you decide to make ice cream sandwiches, chill the cookies first.
Oh, you mean you don't put your ice cream on the hot cookies?
No, not even cold cookie. No, it has to be from from my experience, because I've done it. If it's not chilled, it's going to start melting really fast.
I have not really made a whole lot of ice cream sandwiches, truthfully. So, but I do love. I buy them at the grocery store. They have them at the grocery store. So, Christiane is saying it's satisfying to watch you slice them. So I guess when you make your fast video for Facebook, focus on the slicing part.
Slicing part. It's actually also satisfying for you as a baker. If you make those, it's just, with every slice, you're surprised that you did it.
Yes.
It's a little reward you get after all that work.
Those were awesome. Fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thanks, Han. That was great.
My pleasure. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me just remove my hand from here.
Any last questions before we wrap it up? Han, did you have anything you wanted to here, let's just show them again your pretty pictures. Yes. She matches them here with the napkin. Isn't that nice?
Again, these are great for the patriotic parties. You could take them with you and be the start of the party. Have them in the freezer, have the log in the freezer, and then cut them up when you're ready. In the freezer, they last for up to 3 months. So it's a great recipe. Oh yeah, candy corn cookies, absolutely.
Well, coloring the dough just gives you a different, like a whole new kind of creative, option. You can get, really things.
What are they called?
The spiral, the pinwheel.
Yeah, the pinwheel.
What's on Friday, Kim? I'm pretty sure, by my memory, it's Amber is in the sweet seat, hot seat on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a little bit out of my schedule there. I've had a bit of a crazy week here. My poor little dog is sick. I've been in the emergency and different things, so I've had some.
Well, this is May. I don't know if I have scheduled
chaos
for June here, but I think you're correct.
Here, let me look again. I have it here. Let me double check.
You have it? Okay.
Oh no, I have July here. I don't have the June, but I'm pretty sure Amber's. If I had to go by memory, it's
on the 10th. Is it already 10th?
Yeah.
On the 10th, it's Amber, and I'm gonna be there as well. So you're off, darling.
Yes.
June
yeah,
10th.
I don't have it right here to load, Kathy, to show you guys the June calendar. Like I say there, I've had a bit of a crazy week. I got sick and my dog got sick.
Ready on Friday. Yeah, you've been, and it's only Tuesday, huh?
And it's only Tuesday. Yes. So anyway. All right. Well, thanks, Han. Thanks everybody for joining us. And Friday, if you guys want more cookies, join Han and Amber on Friday.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye everybody.